Hello, StarCraft fans. Today I'm bringing you game one of a 5-game match between SOS and Bayan that occurred on, I believe it was February 2nd. So the map is Ruins of Saros, and these players both very strong pro gamers. So I think we're going to see an exciting match. And it's a little bit longer. Hope you enjoy it. So SOS, Protoss player, spawning in the top left hand corner of the map. And in the bottom right, the Terran Bayan spawns and builds a depot so that he can build more units. Needs that supply. Pylon for SOS. And they have spawned on opposite ends of the map. So I don't know if it makes a tremendous difference throughout the course of the game. Maybe that's one reason why this is a little bit longer of a game. You can see it runs 21 minutes. Gonna have some time to see some battles, hopefully, some excitement. And the Protoss player opts for a Nexus first fast expand, taking a little bit of a risk, leaving himself potentially open to early aggression, but getting that economy going right away. And throws down a gateway. The Terran, for his part, opened with a barracks. He's got gas. We're going to see an orbital command any second now. And potentially an early Reaper. Actually, he goes for a reactor core right away, probably to get some marine presence relatively early on. And he throws down a command center himself. So both players going for fast expand, but with the Terran choosing a slightly more army-based approach, tech-based approach. And two gateways going down for SOS. He's got his second gas. We're going to see a Psy-Core, no doubt, any second now. And his scouting probe is approaching the Terran base. So he is going to be able to scout this expansion strategy. He might be able to get in the base if this depot is not raised in time, but 3 Marines spawn and send him packing. The probe is able to survive. But the only information he got was the early command center. So SOS getting slightly the best of the early game here because he did throw down his Nexus first. And he's not getting punished for that. So he should have a little bit of an economic edge heading into the middle game. Obviously still a very even game. No side with really a strong decisive advantage just yet. The Terran opting for an early starport. Probably we're going to see a Marine Widowmine drop as soon as that starport's finished. And the Protoss, surely he's got a mothership core, or no, he's soon to have a mothership core, no doubt. I guess he's a little short on gas, or I'm not sure why that's there. I guess there's no real defensive need just yet. And this is kind of cool placement with the stalkers, scout preventing perhaps. Yeah, scout deny. Sometimes players will leave like a Marine here by these likely expansion spots or an SCV in order to check the timing. So he sends out the stalkers just to see if that's happening and to deny his opponent information about what's going on. So that's pretty smart. And intelligence and counterintelligence are a big part of StarCraft, especially towards the middle and early game here. So dropship loaded by the Terran player, and interestingly enough, he only puts 2 Widow Mines in the ship. I guess he doesn't want to leave his base undefended in case of an early stalker attack. Normally you see them load it fully up so you can do maximum damage, maybe take out a Nexus. That's an interesting idea, defensive idea, not to commit too fully to the drop. So he is going to scout. He should be able to scout this third Nexus here and the particular location of the base. The dropship almost certainly seeing this Nexus. And the Protoss Natural here, defended by the Mothership Core, odds being built. So the Widow Mine is going to disrupt the mining very briefly, but with the odds already finished, that is going to be dealt with handily in just a second here. So a pretty even game. Not really a tremendous loss or win by either side during that engagement. The medevac just chilling out here behind the Protoss base. And a Liberator being sent towards the Protoss base, a little more harass. The Terran is behind one base, and the Stalker is able to take out that Liberator before it really does too much damage. Pretty nice placement on the Liberator there on that map. Tough to take that on once the Defender mode is up and running, although 6 Stalkers with Fling, no doubt able to handle it. The Protoss now going for a little Adept harass with Stalker follow-up. Presumably he's going to drop the main and then charge right through the front door with the Stalkers when the Terran army goes to fight off the drop. And the Stalkers are going to get scouted by this Marine. And you see the Terran sending all his army to the front door. But that's only going to play into the Protoss player's hands here as the drop goes into the sparsely defended main. So very nice attack here by SOS. But the Marines are in place to fend off the drop. And SOS decides he's not going to do it. At least not right now. The Stalkers trying to find some soft place in the Terran army to attack. And the Adepts do manage to escape back to the shuttle. Excuse me. But no real damage done there. The Terran sending out a drop of his own, carefully migrating his dropships through the top right section of the map, hoping to avoid detection. And I don't think the Terran has seen the Protoss has seen this drop just yet. So potentially he is going to be able to do some damage against this third base. There's really no units there, only one cannon, and he unloads the Bioforce, but decides he's not going to attack just yet. Got to deal with this DT Stalker presence, and he takes out the DT. So good defense there. Adept drop again at his main. These players are just so aggressive, and that cannon taken out quickly. Reinforcements warping in, killed. A lot of probes being taken out there, and the strike force is going to be able to retreat. But 2 DPs managing to take out the turret and getting picked up to avoid getting killed after the scan. So phenomenal attacks by both players. And we're approaching the mid-game very quickly here. Both players fairly even in supply. 4 bases for the Toss to 3 for the Terran. Maybe a slight eco edge here. And let's take a look at the composition. Stalker, Immortal, Sentry, Adept, and High Templar versus M and M and M and Widow Mines. So the Storm is going to be great against this bio ball. He's gonna have to micro. Bayern's gonna have to micro against these storms pretty handily. He's got a little bit of a strike force here up in the top right-hand section. I guess he's hoping to draw out the Protoss army and then strike again at this third base. And nice obs placement here by SOS, keeping an eye on the Terran army. Potentially, we could see an engagement here. Both armies dangerously close to each other. The Protoss in a tactical retreat, and they engage with the Widow Mines buried. And that storm is going to take one Widow Mine out. And here comes the attack. But Storm Cannon, such a phenomenal defense there. Very nice use of the Templar to protect against these harassment attacks. Defense, every bit as important as offense in StarCraft. The best defense is actually a good defense, although it is good to stay aggressive. You don't want to give your opponent room to maneuver, to do a strategy. And a little engagement here. These adepts are going to melt away under the Bioball onslaught. So very clear win there for Bayern, taking relatively few losses while engaging with that minor strike force. Meanwhile, in the Terran main, a bunch of adepts wrecking havoc, taking on the ghosts, and really nice move here by SOS to take out these Marines, destroy the mining. Meanwhile, Bayern, desperate to counterattack. He is going to try to take on this base again. We'll see if that High Templar is just as effective. The Protoss Bioball engaging with the Terran army. Storm everywhere. Marines melting away. Both players still even in supply. More adepts being warped in to the Terran main. DT as well, joining the army here, and the Terran's production is just in chaos as the adepts fight, and looking like the adept army finally going to be fended off. We'll see if any more are warped in. The Protoss potentially just making a beeline straight for the Terran base. It's not really all that defended. The Terran army is up in the top right section of the map looking to do an attack. And the Protoss could just walk right in. He sees that there are a couple Widow Mines there, but not much defense otherwise. And the Protoss player going to strike the vital third expansion of the Terran. A very nice Widow Mine hit there, but the orbital command actually is lifting off. And the Terran army standing by as he tries to fight off the forces in his main, which are dead now anyway. Protoss with a pretty nice advantage, I'd say, on 4 bases, having just wreaked total havoc on the Terran main there. And Harvester, huge Harvester count advantage. So he's going to have significantly better income. And 5 bases to 3. Bayern's really got to do some damage right now if he wants to stay in this game. And I think he realizes that. He's massed up his army. He wants to move out. But no, he's going to chill at home for a bit more, I guess, potentially, defend that third base. And more drops from the Terran player. No, he's defending his main again from this non-stop adept DT harass. And the adepts are going to go down. blocked by the wall from hitting the other eco sources. But the Protoss player very much in the lead. Revelation cast, Tempest composition, Tempest addition to the composition here. And great counter to the Widowmine is this Revelation spell, which grants your opponent vision from your units. A very, very nice tactical spell towards the mid-game when you're looking for good ways to engage at a profit against your opponent's army. And both forces' armies very close here. Probably we are going to see a massive battle very soon. The Protoss hunting the Terran army in hot pursuit, and a Widowmine gets a nice hit off on a Tempest. The Terran marching to the north section of the map, setting Widowmine traps, and another strike force here being deployed towards these Protoss bases. And the army's engaging here with the Protoss player trying to do a hit and run technique, but the Bio Ball doing a lot of damage. And the Protoss here has in danger of losing his most forward bases. That Nexus is going down. There is no way for the Protoss to get there in time. So a very nice attack by Buy-in. But the Nexus is not completely destroyed just yet. There it goes. And it's gone. The Tempest now reinforcing the unmined base. Getting a nice probe transfer. But still a pretty good attack. And check out this little formation in the center of the map. That is just pretty cool. Holding the center there. And not sure what these adepts are doing. Running towards the top right. Potentially a little scouting attack just in case the Terran has set up a base along the top right section of the map. The adepts are going to be able to transfer out of trouble. And Planetary Fortress here at the 4th Terran base. But the Protoss does have more expo still. 5 base to 4. He's had a commanding lead throughout most of the middle game. Carriers being added to SOS's force here. And that is going to be very difficult for this tiny little Terran army to deal with. So wisely they decide to run away. They bravely run away from the awesome Protoss Sky force. And here's the rest of the Terran army meeting up with the Medivacs. Probably going to try to hit these left side bases here once again. Maybe able to pick off these 2 Templar. And the Marines see them, they skim, but not going to be able to get through this massive Skytoss force with backup cannons and Psystorm. A very nice defensive formation in the middle of the map. Terran army preparing to attack this 3rd base again. And here comes the strike force, stimmed in. He's going to be able to pick off that warping cannon. Only 1 stalker to defend this base. The pylon goes down. And will he get the Nexus? No, he will not. The carriers are there. They are able to defend it. So that attack not really able to do the damage of the last one. Both players fighting for control of the center of the map. And nice little feedback there, EMP round, whatever it was. Massive Tempest contingent of the Protoss army here. And the Protoss player looks like he wants to engage. Buy-in, taking out an Immortal, but not really thinking he can take on this Skytoss force right now. So forced to retreat. And in comes the attack. He's wary, but does manage to get a couple kills anyway. And he's going to load up his dropships, potentially going over to the left side, attacking this production facility area here, or maybe going to try to target this area. And in comes the Terran attack. He's got to watch out for the side storm, but he does manage to pick off the Templar and take out the cannons. I don't know how vital this attack really is, because this base is pretty much dead anyway, almost mined out. And another attack, he's forcing the Protoss to fight a two-front war here. But the Protoss player has simply decided to base trade and moves in with his Skytoss force to take out the Terran main. So while the Toss has lost a few bases, the Terran is going to lose his entire production facility. And this game is really over. If you look at the supply count, the Toss has clearly won. It's so difficult to deal with these mass capital shifts in the late game. And the Toss player was sort of ahead the whole time, eco-wise, which translates into a larger army, translates into winning battles. And the Toss player even able to defend this base and crush the Terran army. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The forces of Ire have been victorious.